but as a new immigrant, you probably may not qualify for a credit card, or may not qualify for a loan, because for you to get a loan, you must have credit, and you need the loan to also build credit, right? But there are some opportunities out there for new immigrants to build credit, and I'm going to talk about these things. Hello guys, welcome to Oflay TV. Thank you for stopping by my channel to watch my videos. Guys, today we're going to talk about credit. I know many of you guys have asked about this for the longest time, and I've been procrastinating on doing this, but today, here we go. We're going to talk about credit and building credit as a new immigrant. But if this is the first time that you're here, please subscribe to the channel. All you have to do is just sign in whilst you're right here on YouTube, and then you click on the subscribe button. All right, but thank you so much for doing this, guys. So credit is an important thing, especially when you come to America. You realize that when you come to America, having cash is good, but having credit is amazing. Having credit, good credit, not just any credit. Having good credit in America is amazing. Cash is king, but I feel that credit is the emperor. Okay? So credit is the ability to have access to goods and services with the understanding that you pay later. Okay? It gives you access to goods and services with the understanding that you're going to pay later with interest. So let's say you're out and you want to buy something and you have the credit card. You can use the credit card to buy it, but you have the understanding that you're going to pay that money back with interest. You're borrowing the money from the creditor with the understanding that you're going to pay later. So why is credit important? It kind of like bled into the first point. Credit is important because it allows you to, when you're applying for loan, student loan, personal loan, mortgage loan, auto loan, credit is what allows you to be able to do this in lieu of cash, right? And sometimes you may even have cash, but they might not take your cash. Let's say you want to buy a car. There are some places they might not take cash payment upfront. Let's say you want to buy a house. They might not take the cash. You may have all the cash. They might not accept it. You go to a hotel and you want to book a place to stay. They might want a credit card, not your cash. Even if you can afford, they want your cash. If you want to rent an apartment, they want to check your credit history to see your credit behavior before they will rent to you. So even though you may have cash, there are some circumstances that make having credit important here. There are some jobs that require you to have good credit, like in the military. If you want to be a law enforcement officer, they check your credit. And sometimes, not even just when you are applying for these jobs, but whilst you are on the job, occasionally they'll go and pull your credit to see your spending habit. If you want to be an FBI agent, you must have a good credit score. All right. So there's some jobs that really, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a prison worker, they will check your credit. Okay. So there's some jobs that require it, but other than that, you want to have credit so that you have, when you want to borrow money for a student loan, to buy a car, to buy a house, you have the ability to do that because of your credit score. All right. And in addition to that, having getting the best interest rate, your credit score will determine the interest rate that you get. So you and another person may apply for the same amount of loan, but your interest rate may differ based on your credit score. If you have a better credit score than somebody else, then you have a lower interest rate compared to the other person. So at least these couple of things makes you understand why credit is important. All right. Now, how do you determine what a score is good or bad, and what is even the credit score range. So the credit score ranges from 300 to 850, 300 to 850, and they have broken them apart, and I'll show it down here in the screen here. The score of 300, between 300 and 579 is considered poor. Having a score of 580 to 669 is considered fair. Having a score of 680 and 739 is considered good. And having a score of 740 to 799 is considered very good. Having a score of 800 to 850 is considered exceptional or excellent. All right, so that is the score ranges. So you definitely don't want to be within the poor, fair range. You want to be in the ranges of good all the way to exceptional. Now, when you're a new immigrant, then you are starting from the bottom completely. You will have to build your credit in order to, be in one of these ranges. Okay. So how do you build your credit? The way of building your credit is, acquiring debt. Basically, is getting credit, right? So whether through credit cards, loans, mostly credit cards and loans. Okay, but as a new immigrant, you probably may not qualify for a credit card or may not qualify for a loan, because for you to get a loan, you must have credit, and you need the loan to also build credit, right? But there are some opportunities out there for new immigrants to build credit, and I'm going to talk about these things. To build credit, one of the ways that I've talked about in other videos is credit card through your bank. When you come as an immigrant to America, get a bank account. Get a bank account that you have your pay be deposited through that bank account. Like, have a bank account so that your monthly paycheck or your weekly or bi-weekly paycheck goes through that bank account, auto deposited into this bank account. All right, and as it becomes a frequent pattern, your bank may give you a credit card. Many of the banks have their own credit cards that they try to push out to their customers. So whilst you're a customer on that bank, they might just give you a credit card. All right, so that is one of the easiest way to get it. The other way is you can go through this credit builder companies. One of them will be Chime. Chime is a credit builder. Guys, you have to go and read about the rules. I'm not getting paid by them, but this is one of the companies out there. So what those credit builder companies, what they do is that you create an account through them. When you create an account through them, you will link whether you will have your paycheck deposited through them, and then they will give you a credit card. So you have money there, and then you use the credit card to pay your bills. So you have money that goes through that account, and then you use their credit card to pay them. So let's say you get paid $2,000 a month. The money will go through them, and then they give you a credit card. And so you are using your credit card to pay your rent. You're using it to buy, gas, buy food, pay your phone bills, and it's coming through there. So they are reporting to the credit bureau. Some of the credit builder too, what they do is that you pick a loan. So you tell them that, hey, I want to do a loan, like maybe $2,500, and then they create like a frequent payment. So they make it like, okay, $2,500, and you want to pay the amount in maybe however long the term limit will be set, and then every month you're supposed to pay $100. So you are paying this as if it is a loan that you have taken. So every month you have to make that payment. You don't want to miss. So when you pay, they report that payment to the credit bureaus so that it will be treated like you are owing money, but you're making payment. All right. So that is what some of the credit builders, that's what they do. Some of them, they will treat it as if you have taken a loan from them. And this, you can go to your credit union, your local banks, talk to them and see if they can do a credit builder loan. They can help you with a credit builder loan. So like I said, you're paying the money to them monthly, whether it's $50, $100, $150, $25, however amount, but you have to pay it consistently, and they'll be reporting to the credit bureau. The month that you don't pay, it will be a negative, on your part. So you pay them, and when you get to the final amount, when you're finished paying off, they will give the money back to you. But of course, they also will have to take their fees for holding your money for you. But you just have to go to your local bank and talk to them about credit builder loan. Talk to them about it and see if your local bank may offer something like that. But guys, go online and read about it. Just Google credit builder loan or credit builder apps or company, and see the reviews, and pick the one that will work best for you. So that is one way for a new immigrant to help you build, your credit. Another way is your cell phone bill. There are some cell phone companies, like the low level ones, they may not check your credit. T-Mobile will check your credit. I don't know if Verizon will check, but there are some cell phone companies that they will check your credit. If you don't have good credit, they will not give you. But there are some that may not check your credit report or your credit score. So as you're paying your phone bill, you pay on time, then they will report that information to the credit bureau, and that is how you build your credit score. So which companies collect all your credit information and tabulate your scores? That there are three bureaus or three companies, and we call them credit bureaus. One is Equifax, one is Experian, and then the last one is TransUnion. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. There are three, and they all may have different scores ranges, because they might be calculating different things using different weights to determine the calculate. So to determine your score, like maybe you may check your Equifax score and it says maybe your credit score is like 720, and then you check Experian and it might be 669. Okay, so they have like different weights in how they pull their scores and they calculate their scores. How do the credit bureaus calculate your scores, and what impacts them? Okay, so I'm just going to talk about the things that influence your credit score. The first thing is your payment history, paying your bills on time. So if you have a cell phone bills, then you have to pay it on time. If you have mortgage, you have to pay on time. Your rent, you pay on time. Those bills must be paid on time. Your credit card, you must pay at least the minimum payment that is due. You must pay. You don't want to be late. If you pay your bills late, it will affect your credit score. When you pay on time, when you pay more, then it will help in building your credit score. It will keep it up. Another thing is your credit utilization. So this is more about those who have credit cards. So if you have credit card, and let's say that the credit amount on there, the credit limit is $100,000. Okay, $1,000, and you decide to spend $100. Your credit utilization is low, and that is a good thing. So the credit utilization is based on the percentage of how much you owe versus how much your credit balance is. Okay, so how much you owe versus the credit limit. So if they gave you 1,000 and you have spent 900 of it, that means that your credit utilization is very high. You have spent 90% of the amount of money they gave you. So that is going to be bad on your credit. Okay, but when they gave you a whole lot of money, but you have spent less, and the balance that you are carrying forward every month, your rotating or revolving balance is low compared to the amount that your credit limit, then it's a good thing for you. Okay, the other thing is your credit length. your credit length or the credit history length. So the longer you've had a credit card is a benefit to you. But as a new immigrant, this is something that you're not going to benefit from because you just got here. So you may be starting from ground zero, and you may not have that history. But one way you can get the history is if somebody were to make you like an authorized user. Let's say me, I have a good credit, and you're a new immigrant. You're staying with me, I trust you, and then I make you an authorized user and on my account. So you kind of borrow credit from me. So if I have good credit, it rubs off on you. If I have bad credit, it will rub off on you. And when you make somebody authorized user, you don't need to give them a credit card. So those of you who are living with family members or friends who may have good credit, talk to them about maybe making you an authorized user. When they make you authorized user, they don't have to give you a credit card. They can tell the company that I want you to make this person authorized user, but they can send the credit card to you and you don't give it to the person. But if you give them the credit card, then definitely when they use the credit card, it's going to impact you. Does that make sense? I make somebody an authorized user, and then I let them get the credit card. When they use that to shop, the balance is coming to me because it's like my account and they have given the person a card, another card, right? But it's all coming to my account. Okay, so when they make you a credit an authorized user, that card is not the card. You're using the card, but then the account is not yours. The account belongs to the person who owns the main account. And so just be careful when someone makes you an authorized user. Don't use that credit card. Let the person have the credit card. It's a way of you gaining access to their good credit. Okay, so don't let somebody who has a bad credit also make you an authorized user, because then if they have a bad credit, then it's also going to rub off on you, right? It's like the sentinel, right? You don't want somebody's bad credit, like you don't want that smelling on you. That's what I said in Chi. Those of you who don't understand Chi. So what are the things that can impact your credit that can end up costing you, make you lose points if you miss payment? If you have credit card and you don't pay your bills on time, if you miss a payment, then it's going to be reported to the credit bureau and it's going to affect you. If you do a hard pull is when you apply for new credit. You apply for new credit. Let's say you have applied for a new credit card. You have applied for loan, whether auto loan, student loan, personal loan, mortgage loan. They do a hard pull. They do a credit check. That hard pull will cost you some points, at least 5 points. And then there's a soft pull. Soft pull doesn't cost you any points. So when they do a hard pull, you lose some points. So you want to make sure that you limit the amount of hard pulls you do. Don't be going to different websites and then you apply for credit card and then you go to another website, you apply for credit card, you go to another, because all of them will be doing a hard pull, because they will all be checking your credit report, and when they check, you will lose points. They check, you will lose points. So be careful in doing consecutive credit pulls. When you apply for credit card and you are rejected, please pause. Don't do it again. Wait and build your credit to a certain point, and then you can try again. Okay? When they reject you and you keep applying, you will keep losing points. Remember, you need the points to get approved. So when you're losing points, then you're doing the opposite. So just be mindful of that. Make sure you're paying your rent on time, because they will report that. Just make sure. And then you're carrying a balance. Sometimes if you owe somebody and then they report it to the collection, right? Like you go to hospital, then you have a medical procedure, and then the bill, you refuse to pay it for whatever reason, and that bill gets sold to a collection company and they keep calling you and you don't want to pay. That is going to be a remark on your credit report. When you owe and your debt goes into collection, collections are companies or agencies who buy your debt and then they try to collect the money from you. Okay, they will buy your debt maybe for cheap, and then they will try to collect the full amount from you, and sometimes they might even add their own administrative or processing fees on top of that. If you owe, just try to avoid having your debt go into collections. Try to work with a company. If it's a hospital, try to work with them to come up with a payment plan that is comfortable for you so that you can pay off your debt. Because when you owe and it goes into collection, then definitely it's going to have a negative impact on your credit report. And some of these collections can stay on your credit report for years, for so many years before they get dropped. And when you pay it off, then they remove the bad remark that they have on your account. So try your best to avoid such situations. Okay, how do you check your credit? There are various websites online that you can use to check your credit, but one of the websites that you can use will be annualcreditreport.com. You go to that website, you have to fill your information with your social security number and all of that, and then it will take you to where to check your credit report. If you're a resident of Texas, all people who live in Texas are entitled to one free credit report per year. So if you live in Texas and you're a resident of Texas, then you are entitled to a free credit report. Some companies will charge you a fee. Okay, so sometimes when you check your credit report, they tell you like, pay like $1 for a 7 days trial to see your actual score. When you check your credit report, sometimes they will just give you all the information. They might not tell you your actual score. So they will tell you that, okay, maybe if you pay $7 or $1 for a 7 days free trial, you will see your credit score. But when you do the 7 days free trial, please remember to cancel. If you don't cancel, that $1 will roll into $39.99 or $19.99 or $29.99. So when you check your credit report and you want to see your credit score, definitely when they bait you with the like $1 free trial, $7 free trial, just remember to cancel it before that 7 days, else you might end up paying more. Okay, another place that you can check is when you create your Credit Karma account. It's free. When you create an account, you'll be able to see your credit score from TransUnion and Equifax. For Experian, you have to create an account on Experian website to check your report over there. But guys, I hope this information helps you. I know I've talked for a bit. If you have any questions, please put them down below, so that I'll do the best within my ability to answer your questions. But guys, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video about building your credit when you come to America. I hope this video helps you. Guys, subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Facebook, Ofoyi TV. Visit ofoyitv.com. I'll be posting this information that I shared here on that website, so you can go there and read about that. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for your time. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.